In a quaint countryside village, where the sun painted golden hues across rolling fields and the air was imbued with the scent of blooming wildflowers, young Lukas was the heart of his parents' world. His laughter rang like a melody, a sweet sound that danced through the air, bringing joy not only to his mother and father, but to the entire village. They cherished every moment with him, from his first giggle to the way he would stretch his tiny limbs and attempt to crawl across the soft patchwork quilt that adorned the living room floor. The world seemed to unfold beautifully around them, a tapestry woven with love and innocence. As the leaves began to turn from vibrant greens to warm oranges and reds, the crisp October air heralded the arrival of autumn. Lukas, now a few months shy of his first birthday, was at the cusp of new milestones. He had just begun to utter charming sounds, his first attempts at words like mama and dada, filling the home with warmth. His parents would beam with pride, exchanging glances that spoke volumes of their hopes and dreams for their son. Their days were filled with simple pleasures, strolling through the village, sharing laughter with neighbors, and watching Lukas explore the small wonders of life. But one chilly October afternoon, as the sun dipped behind the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, a sense of unease began to creep into their idyllic existence. Lukas, usually so full of energy, became unusually quiet. His cheeks flushed with a warmth that didn't seem right, and his parents exchanged worried glances as they felt his forehead. What started as a mild fever soon escalated, and the once vibrant laughter that echoed through their home was replaced by the soft whimpers of a child in distress. Panic gripped their hearts as they rushed Lukas to the local clinic, where the doctor's face turned serious after a brief examination. The words "severe pneumonia" hung heavy in the air, a dark cloud that overshadowed their hopes. They were advised to take him to the nearest hospital, where he could receive the intensive care he desperately needed. As they drove through the winding roads, the world outside blurred, a stark contrast to the clarity of their love for their son. Fear wrapped around them like a vice, tightening with every passing moment. Upon arriving at the hospital, the sterile scent of antiseptic mingled with the palpable tension in the air. Lukas was whisked away, leaving his parents standing in the hallway, their hearts pounding in their chests. They clung to each other, hands intertwined, seeking solace in their shared fear. The hours stretched endlessly, each tick of the clock echoing their anxiety. They were taken to the intensive care unit, a place where the soft beeping of machines created a rhythm that was both reassuring and terrifying. As they entered the room, the sight of their small boy lying on the hospital bed, surrounded by tubes and monitors, shattered their hearts. His tiny frame seemed so fragile, lost amidst the clinical surroundings. His mother knelt beside him, her heart heavy with a mix of fear and love. She placed her hand gently on his chest, feeling the rise and fall of his breaths, each one a reminder of the fight he was waging. With tears streaming down her face, she closed her eyes and prayed, her voice a whisper against the sterile hum of the room. She prayed for strength, for healing, and for her son to navigate this tumultuous moment. The night dragged on, each minute feeling like an eternity. They sat in silence, the weight of their worry pressing down on them like an anchor. Lukas's father squeezed his wife's hand, offering what little comfort he could. They shared stories, memories of happier times, of laughter and light, trying to drown out the fear that threatened to engulf them. They spoke of the future they envisioned for Lukas, filled with adventures and milestones, the dreams they held so dearly for their precious boy. As dawn broke, casting a soft glow through the window, a miraculous change began to unfold. The machines that had monitored Lukas's condition beeped steadily, and his breathing, once labored and harsh, began to steady. His mother, still kneeling by his side, felt a flutter of hope stir within her. She opened her eyes, and for the first time that night, she allowed herself to believe that perhaps they were crossing a threshold. Lukas's color slowly returned, a rosy hue replacing the pallor that had worried them for so long. And then, In a moment that felt like the world had paused, his eyes fluttered open. The deep blue of his gaze, usually so bright and full of wonder, now held a hint of confusion, yet it was undeniably a sign of life. His mother gasped, tears of relief spilling down her cheeks as she called out to him, her voice trembling with emotion. Lukas blinked, recognizing the familiar voice that had soothed him through the night. Though he was not fully recovered, the worst had passed. The doctors, when they arrived to check on him, shared cautious optimism, their faces reflecting a mix of professionalism and warmth. They explained the road ahead would still be challenging, but Lukas had crossed the most perilous threshold. His parents, though exhausted, felt a renewed sense of hope. In the days that followed, as Lukas began to heal, his parents learned a profound truth. It was not the storm that fortified them, but the unwavering faith that sustained their resolve through it all. They had been tested in ways they never imagined, yet amidst the fear and uncertainty, they discovered an unbreakable bond, a resilience that would carry them through any challenge life might throw their way. And as Lukas grew stronger, their love for him only deepened, a testament to the power of hope and the strength found in unity. The village, too, rallied around them, a community woven together with threads of support and love, reminding them that even in the darkest of times, they were never alone.